Hey friends, it's Hope, and today I am here to do a non-spoiler book review over The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. Now this is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles, so unfortunately while this book review is going to be a non-spoiler book review, it will not be non-spoiler for people who have not read the first book, which is The Kiss of Deception. So if you guys have not read the first book, I will see you later. So The Heart of Betrayal picks up like right after the first book ends. So we know that Caden was the assassin sent to capture and kill Leah, and we know that Raph was the jilted prince, which I am Team Raph all the way. But yeah, I digress. With that said, Caden has brought Leah into Venda, and Raph decided he was gonna go after her and save her. So now Leah and Raph are prisoners, and Caden is just being his bad boy assassin self. And that's where the story starts in this novel, and then it just kind of goes from there. The first thing I want to start off with is Mary E. Pearson does such a beautiful and wonderful job with describing the world and the setting. I felt like every single chapter I was reading, I felt like I was right there in the story. I could just imagine things so well, and it was just so beautifully done. With that said though, I was a little bit disappointed in this book, and I think I have an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to talk about the things that I was kind of disappointed in first and then end with the good stuff, because you know I like to end on a happy note. Alright, so the first thing that I was a little bit disappointed with is the lack of Raph. I told you guys at the beginning of this video that I am Team Raph through and through, and because he is a prisoner, we actually see a lot of interaction with Leah and Caden, which was nice because we got to know Caden's backstory a little bit more, but at the same time, this girl wanted more Raph, and I just didn't get as much as I wanted. Another reason that this book was a little bit disappointing to me is the fact that the beginning was just really slow. I really didn't get invested in this book until page 130, and 130 pages in, I mean, that's a good chunk of the way into the book. The other thing that I felt was a little disappointing was like our side characters and then the perspectives that we got from Pauline. While I really adored Pauline in the first book, I felt like her chapters in the second book were more of like chapter and book fillers. I feel like we didn't get a lot accomplished with her chapters, and after I read it, it just kind of made me think that I had way more unanswered questions, and thoughts like running through my head was, what was the purpose of her character in this novel? Alright, so enough with the disappointing aspects of this book. Let's talk about some positives. So like I said before, the world building was on point in this novel. Bravo to Mary E. Pearson. She did it beautifully. Loved reading about the setting and the world. I also really enjoyed Leah as our main character. She is a wonderful heroine. What I love the most about her character is she still stays really true to herself, but she knows that the circumstance that she's in, she has to develop and play this role. And with that said, she became very strategic. She made some really great independent decisions. I also loved that she knew to gain the trust of people in the new surroundings she was in. She was going to have to be relational and loving and accepting. And I really love that about her character, and she did it so well. Another thing I loved about this book too was even though we knew the roles that Raph and Caden played, there was still a mystery aspect to it because some of their personality traits were kind of unreliable, and so really their characters could go either way. They could end up being the villain, or they could start being the villain and then have redeemable aspects to their character later on in the book. I will say too that the Kozmar, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, played a really great villain, and I loved reading about him. So with that said, the ending of the story was really great. I thought some aspects were a little bit predictable. The deaths in this book, I wish that they made me feel a little bit more sad. I mean, one death in particular did pull on my heartstrings, but I was expecting to cry over this person's death. Now thinking back on it, I don't know if it actually says that they died, so we'll just have to see. I will also say that even though there was quite a plot twist towards the end of the book, The very last page of the book, when you read it, you think, all right, so we know that there's going to be a third book, maybe fourth or maybe fifth. So really, it wasn't too much of a cliffhanger, and I wanted this like giant cliffhanger. But to me, and like I said, I probably have just a really unpopular opinion, I just didn't see it being like this giant cliffhanger. So I don't know. Let me know below if you guys also agree. Did you think that the last page was this giant cliffhanger, or did you think that it was kind of lackluster? I don't know. So yeah, all in all, I really did enjoy this book. I rated the first book a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I'm gonna rate this book a 4 out of 5 stars. And the reason is because I felt like the beginning of this book was really slow, and like I said, I really wish I had more Raph in my life. It's horrible that I'm having to try to convince myself of this, but parts of the book I feel like Caden wanted Liam more than Raph did, but that's another story for a different day. All right, friends, well, those are my general thoughts of the Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. Let me know below what you guys thought of the ending. Was it a cliffhanger to you? Did you think it was crazy? Did you think it was a little dull? What do you think is gonna happen in book 3? I know I cannot wait. I actually did a buddy read with my friend Rachel and Mandi, and I know Mandi is still currently getting through this, which is okay. You take your time, girl. We all read at different paces, and I know she's been reading the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and yeah, Damon Black, I'm just obsessed. I digress. Back to this book. So yeah, ladies, thank you so much for reading this with me. It was a lot of fun, and thank you guys so much for watching this review. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'm sure I will see you soon. Bye.